Hey, listen, let me be clear. I'm a firm believer in day twos. Right? So we all got day
I've never heard that before. I think I know where you're going though.
We all got day ones.
Yeah.
We grew up out the sandbox. We done shared chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
We done shared a snack box. But I believe in day twos.
Yeah.
Right? And the day ones, we have, you didn't get to choose those people. They were attached to you based on your environment, based on your circumstance. Right. And usually the language of day ones is survival. Usually the conversations with your day ones is about stuff we used to do. Yeah. And how we used to do this. Yeah. And the silly things we did. And the, oh my God, you remember that time? Your day twos, you get to a point.
You choose your day twos.
You choose your day twos. Your day twos are from different places. So it's intentional. Your day twos, y'all speak the language of thriving. How do we excel and expand? How do we add value to each other? How can I help and support? And so I believe you need that. The way you got a right hand and a left hand, you need day ones to keep you grounded and let you know where you come from. But you need day twos that are going to push you.
Absolutely.
And challenge you.
Absolutely.
And stretch you.
Like I found out about this Harvard study, and I'm sure you heard about it. For 25 years, they did research and they looked at people and they said, okay. We've got 25 years of data. We've researched and followed thousands of people, and we found that the majority of their success, 99% of their success, is directly tied to their reference group. Their reference group is the people that they hang out with on a consistent basis. All the people for over 25 years that was hitting high levels of success had a reference group of people who were highly successful. And like chameleons, they began to take on their mindset. They began to take on their behaviors. They began to take on their actions. So for those of you all that's like, well, I hear you, Jay, but I just don't have it within me. Okay, so you naturally don't believe it's possible for you, but are you hanging out? Are you surrounding yourself with people that's on that next level? So if I gave you any advice, it would be that while you're working on your mindset, one thing that would accelerate that is you get in circles, get around some people that's doing great things, that have been there and done that, and it's only a matter of time before that's going to rub off on you. Just like that, bro.
Who are your day twos?
Facts.
If you don't have some, go get some.
Okay, you see how you just broke down my assessment for me and it all makes sense? So like now I'm thinking like, but me being a high C and all that, how can I make that work in my favor? Because I don't know if I can change it. So if I can't change it, how do I make that work in my favor?
You don't need to change anything, actually. Like being like C's honestly make the world go around. Like we would be living in a chaotic environment. Like this world would be chaos without C's. C's put structure in place. C's hold structure together, right? C's make sure things are going in the right place. So for me, somebody who's a high D, I just care about getting it done. It may not look good. Something may be broken. Or it may have taken me 5 tries to figure it out, where you would have taken the time to research and figure out, and I'm going to just jump in and go do it. But somebody like myself, who is just so driving and just goes, I need a C. C's to me are like the anchors of reality, right? Like they bring everything back to this grounded, pragmatic place of like, okay, I get that this is what we're talking about, but we only have $200 to work with. So what can we get with $200?
Yeah.
Right? Or that works, but because there's laws in the land, you can't just go and do that because we're going to violate this thing, right? Like, so you keep people out of jail, you know what I mean? You keep people from doing things that they may regret. We need somebody that makes us slow down and think, especially the way the world is right now. Things are kind of all over the place, but it's important to hold structure. Imagine if we didn't have these 4 walls and it's just a bunch of space in here. Right?
Yeah.
You hold things together, and there's value in that. Now, the thing is being aware and knowing what choices to make that actually serve you. So what you have to do is create a plan or create a system, which is what you excel at, creating a system or a structure that allows you to operate, to function under those conditions. Or you get around somebody else that is really great at that. So if you know, so for example, Dave has a low D. I have a high one. So he might be in his head about something and I make the decision like this. you might need to get around people who are D's. Not to say you're going to be more decisive or whatever, but they will cover your blind spot or the area that you struggle in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What you need to do is find environments and find people who need what it is that you have. Mm-hmm. So where people don't have structure, like people who are just kind of go with the flow all over the place. I know that I need structure. I just don't like it. I don't like people telling me what to do. I'm being honest. Like, I don't like people telling me what to do, but if you suggest it or you make a recommendation, I'm going to act like it was my idea, but I'm going to listen to what you said. Right? And so you just have to find what environment fits you. The idea is to get everybody to take the assessment, right? So that we can learn how to best collaborate. We can learn how to best work with each other, but we could also understand each other.
Understanding that I don't have to be everything. I can find somebody to fill in these blanks for me. I've assessed the fact that, I don't, this isn't good for me. So I need somebody in these spaces. So whether it's on the personal side or it's on the business side. And on the business side, I've hired an amazing, brilliant team. Stephanie Brinkley is my right and my left hand.
Listen,
she is
amazing.
A rock star. When I say I prayed for this girl, I prayed for her because I needed somebody that one could understand and work with me and know, some days I just can't get out of bed, bro. So I'm gonna need you to go ahead and take this over. But also know that there's a level of discernment that you need when you're working with entrepreneurs, because many of us have ADHD. So the level of care and white glove service that you're able to provide, to have the discernment between if I need to get on you and say you didn't turn in your homework, or what's going on, how are you feeling? Because this may be a prayer day versus a fuss at you day. So I prayed to have somebody on my team because when it came to that part, I didn't have it. So I have to find other people to fill in the blanks. But I learned that about me as a person from the DISC assessment that you did. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yo, what's goody, fam? Listen, I know. I'm going to let you get back to the episode, but I wanted to take a minute to let you know about the Human Behavior Mastery course. Yes, we have a course that we put together for coaches, consultants, corporate leaders, and entrepreneurs. I know you're listening to the pod and it's all of this numbers and the adaptive and the natural, the D, the I, the attributes. We put together a comprehensive course to walk you through exactly how to understand each one of the personality types, each one of the values, and we're going to show you exactly how to get the most out of each type. What things you need to avoid, what environments to put you in, and what pieces to put around you to be successful. So if you're looking at taking your business, your life, or your relationship to the next level, make sure you go check out the Human Behavior Mastery course. Back to the episode. Shannon has been a big brother to me, has been a mentor, a confidant.
You need to identify that properly. That's not a full,
No,
Big Brother is not fully.
No, I was getting there.
Okay, all right, my bad.
It's been, yeah, he's been a big brother to me, has been a mentor, a confidant, has really been like an adoptive father. He's adopted me as his son.
There it is.
And part of father-son relationships, there's love, but there's straightening, and Shannon is known to getting that ass a couple of times when necessary.
I've been known.
Yeah, but it's all in love though, right? And so I think that is one of the most important things, at least for me, is the demonstration of love in that particular way, in a very like paternal, very like man-to-man kind of way. The straightening, but also the love. You know what I'm saying? So I can confidently say, without a doubt, I am not the man that I am today without Shannon's fingerprint on me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful to you. But we always have this banter, these whether we just shooting the shit or we have like intellectual conversations, and we have been talking about the importance of mindset and particularly like mind over matter, right? And the importance of that and how that plays out and how those tentacles are attached to sort of everything that we do as men, or just in general. But Shan, tell the people a little bit about yourself, and then we gonna get into what we do. You know what I'm saying?
To a little bit about us, I think whenever that first conversation about what came first, the chicken or the egg, whoever that we have been reincarnated as those people, because that's a conversation that we would have. That kind of, to me, kind of crystallizes our, a good majority of our interactions. Like this asking the question that appears to be obvious, but it's not obvious. But it still needs to be asked. But why would you ask it? But we find growth and development in the asking of the question and trying to flesh out the answer. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you for being one of the few people on the planet that have chosen to enter a space to challenge me, to not accept my bullshit. Like, if you're not going to accept, if I give you like a bullshit answer, like you're just not going to accept that. Like that's not enough. You're going to cause me to go deeper or look deeper or not make any excuses, but to get to the meat of the matter, right? And I don't have a lot of that in my life. Either people don't want fool with me like that, and is this? Can I be? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be raw. We're gonna be honest.
Right. like I have that person is just like, he crazy. I don't feel like just even having any interaction with him, and so they just leave me completely alone.
Yeah.
Or then I have the ones that don't feel like engaging me, but don't want to throw me away. So they don't give me their full mind to access and to engage with, and you have been that, like, for me, and so much more, but definitely that, which is probably more valuable to me than anything. You allow me to be. You accept the full weight of Shannon. You don't want me to temper me at all, and that, I think, that has been, one of the reasons why I'm so endeared to you, is because I have that. And it's what I have with my sons, and it's what I wanted with my dad. But I didn't have that.
I remember being outside, like just sitting outside in front of, where I live, and like got my car door open, and I'm talking to Shan, and I'm in the middle of a divorce, and I'm going through everything. And Shan is listening to me, and he's like, "Hey, baby boy, cut the shit, okay?" And he's like, "Listen, if you can't be a husband, then say that. Just own the fact that you're not willing to do what is called of a husband, and own that.
Live in it,
accept it, and go about your business. But don't sit here and agonize and twist and turn, because we done had this conversation more than enough times for you to understand what's required for you to get through the situation if you want to get through it. Not denying or negating that you're going through pain. Not that I don't care that you're going through it, but because you lived through it, through worse circumstance. It was very simple for you to see what was possible. But you were getting me to understand, like, listen, you're causing harm to yourself because you're not willing to accept what's here, or what it is the reality of what is, and the reality of what you want to do, but you feel like you have to do something else because of whatever else. So it's just being able to be honest with myself and be raw and real in that moment, and just really tell me, like cut the shit, get over yourself. Right. Like, in a moment, and I could tell. I looked at that phone.
Did you want to throw it?
I looked at that phone like, what did he just say to me? Nigga said he loved me. What are you talking about?
Right. He talking reckless.
And I'm like, but it's those moments where I need that. Because it's very easy. I don't like when people tell me what they think I want to hear. So I appreciate when somebody could keep it 100 with me, raw, honest, because there's too many people that will acquiesce or will nice their way through the relationship. And I didn't need that in that moment. that was a freeing moment.
Mm.
That was a freeing moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I never forget it. I had another moment with my father. He was like, "Listen, you gotta accept that you care more right now, and so you're gonna be more sensitive to things,
Mm-hmm.
and accept that."
Come on, Pops.
Again, I looked at the phone like, "What?
This nigga right
Like, what are you
here.
talking about?" He's like, "She beat you to not caring."
Mm-hmm. She beat you to not caring.
That's
crazy.
She beat you to not caring. Because we used to having that button where we'll hit the button like, "Oh, man, I don't give a fuck about this shit."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She got you.
She got you.
And
Ooh.
like, you know, talking about Stop Station.
Stop.
It was just, it was rough, but like that ability to just take ownership of where I was, take ownership of who I was, take ownership of the choice that I really wanted to make, but I wasn't exercising the courage and ownership to choose it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was a moment where I go, okay, I know, regardless of, one, it gave me the lens. It got my head right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It gathered me. It got me grounded, but also let me know that I know that this person will never, ever, ever allow me to abandon myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you need that because there are going to be times when we get off course,
Right.
or when our brains get scrambled.
Right.
So you got to have a support system. You got to have somebody that you give permission to check you or to be raw with you in that way. Because if not, your brain is designed to keep you healthy, and your brain is designed for you to survive. It's going to find an out for you. So one of the things that I found with CEOs or just super successful people in general is that they struggle. The more successful a person becomes, the more they struggle with self-awareness, not because they're not committed to growing, but they don't have a consistent, honest feedback loop. And so when you don't have a consistent, honest feedback loop and you don't know how to create an environment where people can be open and right, and that calls for you to be able to speak people's language and talk to them and have them, you know, speak to you in a way that you're receptive to, then it creates disruption in the environment. So there's already like this, you know, power dynamic, right? This imbalance, but it's the opportunity to humanize yourself and connect with people as a leader on a human level. Make people feel seen, make people feel acknowledged, make people feel understood, and make people feel celebrated. And once you do that, it changes not only the culture, right, the morale, but just your relationships, right? Just your relationship with self and your relationship with other people. We've seen people who have just like yes people around them, or they have the same people around them. So if you're a particular way, just by human nature, we want to be around people who are like us, that are similar to us, because it feels familiar, aka it feels safe. But if everybody is like you, then you're not filling the gap for the things that you're not good at. So I like to say like blind spots are natural, but weaknesses are manufactured, right? Everybody has a gift and everybody has a blind spot. But weaknesses are engineered because you're intentionally creating that. You don't have to. But by sticking to what you know and hiring more people that you like, or associating with more people that are like you, and not associating with people who are strong where you are weak, you duplicate more of an already existing challenge. And then it starts to become a burden that you can't lift by yourself. You won't always have control over the environment, and you won't always have control over what comes at you. Like life throws shit at you sometimes, right? So you have to know how, you have to have mastery of self so that you know how to navigate yourself in and out of a situation. Then from there, you have to master your environment and the people around you. So now you have to be mindful of who you allow in your space, who you allow access to you. And then you have to be mindful of the environment you're in, because the environment is going to influence your behavior more than anything. So if you're in the wrong environment, you're adding friction that you may not need. So being in the right environment, an environment that's tailor-made for you, it's effortless for you to do what you do. It's because there's no friction. It's built for you to thrive. But one that's not for you is going to make everything difficult. And eventually you burn out of energy because your energy is finite. So it's really an exercise in energy management. How do you put yourself in an environment to get the most done with the least amount of effort? What environment allows you to do that? What people allow you to do that? In a lot of ways, when you don't have a feedback loop, when you don't have somebody to bounce an idea off of or somebody to give you a difference of perspective, it's like driving in a car with no mirrors. So when a person isn't self-aware or they don't have that, it's like driving, but you only have your rearview mirror and the windshield. And you trying to switch lanes and you keep crashing because you don't have the mirrors to see what's coming up or what's trailing you or what's on the side of you, right? You don't have the additional vision. But when you have people around you who can be honest, who could be true to you and have your best intentions, they can give you insight on your blind spots, the things that you can't see. Like, I don't care how much you look into that mirror, you still got to look over your shoulder. That's the blind spot, and it's natural. The mirrors don't catch everything. But it helps give you more of a view. Everybody needs that. And for me, I think it's very important for us to get around people who love us, who respect us, but they're not impressed by us. Because those are people that are going to stretch you. They're not impressed by this version of you. They see all of who you are and what you can be. So they're always going to challenge you and push you and stretch you into being your best self. Right? I had a mentor tell me, like, if you're a friend to my present, you're an enemy to my future. Like, if you super comfortable and you love this version of me, and you like, this is the buck stops here for you, you'll never allow me to grow into who I'm supposed to be or evolve into all that I can be. And it's putting ourselves in an environment that's tailor-made for us, the people, the places, the things, what we consume, what we speak, what we think. Most of us are not doing that because we've been programmed to do something that someone thought we should. And we're perpetuating that by making those choices, but those choices are not in alignment with who we are.
This is what I love about entrepreneurship. It's an ecosystem.
Yep.
Right? Whether we are here now in the information age or whether we were back in a day with the industrial age, the agricultural age, whether we go thousands of years back, some person had to say, some person was a farmer, some person was a hunter, some person built things, some person was a welder. The farmer had to say, yo, I'll make sure you never go hungry. The people who protected the farm had to say, I'll make sure nobody ever steal from your farm. There had to be an exchange, whether they bartered or now. There's things that you give to me. There's things I give to you.
Absolutely. To your point about having an ecosystem in a team, just because first of all, if you do think that you could do it by yourself, just because you can do it by yourself doesn't mean that you should.
100%.
Right? And I have learned the value in, Marcus, talk to me about this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really break that down, because for all that I'm great at, there's a whole bunch of things that I'm real. My best is average.
Wow.
In them areas. And I could be honest enough with myself to say that, right?
Wow.
And so that's when you go lean on somebody who may be more structured than you, who may have better social skills than you, who may be more process oriented than you, because then it just makes everything move smoothly, and then that ecosystem is enriched.
So true.
I was just talking to Connie yesterday. I'm like, you're gonna be proud of me. She's like, what? I was like, I did 3 SOPs. She was like, oh my God. I was like, do you know what it took for me to sit my butt down and I'm like, for me, that was moving the needle.
Yeah.
For y'all can't proceed without the SOP.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that this is where, and y'all know I'm big on, let's use our differences to make a difference, right? And this is where having understanding, like let's have a paperwork party. Everybody bring your assessment. Let's learn about each other so that we can figure out how to best work with each other.
Yeah.
Because once I know, I'm not going to say, Mark is asking so many questions, or why he keep correcting me, or he's redirecting everything. And I go, oh, I understand. He needs to get the information so that he feels comfortable enough to proceed.
Yeah.
And honestly, me being a person who don't have too much, it's helpful to me because I am a person who learns by doing, so I learn through iteration.
Wow.
For certain things, you don't have the luxury of iteration. You get one shot to do it. You get one time to do it. So you need to make sure that it's correct. Other times when it's urgent and you want to ask all the questions, I'm gonna go, bro, hey, listen, we don't got time for that. Let me just take care of this for you.
Yeah.
But we understand the balance and the rapport. With that understanding, though, there's grace and mercy given to each other. If you focus and you get some knowledge about yourself and understand you was built and designed this way and you working in this particular way, you could do it all day. It's effortless for you. Now you need to put yourself in an environment that particular skill and that particular way of being is valuable. Because you're going to be praised. You're going to be paid for it. And the things that you struggle with, you collaborate with somebody else. You partner with somebody else, or you put a process in place that's going to support you and hold you accountable. But trying to play a different game or fooling yourself into thinking you need to be something else, well, you gotta weigh the opportunity cost there. I personally, and I'm not attached to being right about anything. There are different philosophies and different, houses of thought. I come from the school of thought of I'm going to double down on my strength. I'm going to collaborate and partner where I struggle. And I will surround myself and build a team and build a support system and build a village in that way. Versus harping over getting better at something that I'm just not going to get that much better at anyway. I can choose to spend my time that way, or I can focus on where I'm being affirmed, where I'm great at, where I'm getting results at already, and removing the distractions from me and focusing more on going deeper with less. I can't tell you how many times I see people, they want to take the assessment over, they want to change this. Well, I don't want to be a D because people feel like D's are jerks, or I need to get my C up because I need to be more organized, or you can embrace who you are, accept who you are, and use that as an opportunity to release some things that been needed to go and create room for some things that are going to enrich your life. Some of y'all feel like you need to change because you're scared to ask for help. You're scared to go get support from other people. You feel like it says something about you. Like it's an indictment on your person, on your character. Like, newsflash, buddy, you're not supposed to do this thing called life by yourself. This is a collective team effort. It takes a village, even for adults. And I say that as a person who naturally I avoid crowds of people. I avoid asking for support. I'll ask for support if I absolutely need to. Now, that might be useful in certain situations, but in a lot of situations, I could have fast-tracked my way or shortcut my way to what I was looking for in the first place. If I just raised my hand and partnered with somebody or collaborated with somebody. So I'm not really, I'm speaking about things that I actually read in a book and I studied and I read research on, but I'm also speaking from personal experience. You can harp on those things or you can focus on where you're strong, tag some friends in, invite some people to the table, and y'all work collectively to build something together. But you won't even know who to partner with if you don't know who you are. If you haven't embraced and accepted who you are. If you're trying to be somebody else, then that's the prerequisite. Understanding and accepting who you are is the prerequisite to getting around the group of people that you need to get around to make the dream happen.